How are you guys? I'm here with my co-founder, Ember Hansen, and the topic today really is the changing nature of commercial real estate investment sales marketplaces. And I think the one caveat I want to make is we're really talking about the middle market. So we're talking about asset sales under 20 million. Not, everybody generally knows who the larger investors are, so that's the gap that we're trying to fill.
Yeah, and I realize that we're like 2 presenters away from cocktail hour, so we'll make this brief, and we have a ticking clock here that says we only have 9 minutes and 20 seconds anyway, so we'll just jump right in.
Yeah, it's really empty in there, so I'm going to make an announcement.
That's cool. All right, so I think just by show of hands, what were your biggest challenges in 2021?
Hope everyone's having a great time, setting some meetings, getting some networking on. I want to make a quick announcement about our innovation stage and the main goal.
It's really cool. You should come in here.
To talk about the latest and greatest in real estate.
Do I just talk over him? Can you guys hear me if I talk over him? Yeah. All right, cool. I'll just talk louder. All right, so jumping in. So what were your biggest challenges in 2021? Can I get a show of hands? Access to quality deal flow. So any of you that are kind of looking to make your next investment, access to kind of those competitive quality deals. Show of hands. All right, a couple. Access to timely underwriting or completion of third-party reports. Was this an issue for you in 2021? All right. What about sell-side responsiveness? So either like seller's broker or kind of transparency throughout that process. Issues there. All right. So survey says, so Biproxi took a survey of our investors in 2021. These are people that are purchasing assets through our platform. 85% of them actually said that sourcing quality deals was a key challenge for them in 2021. And, I don't need to tell this room that, the market is hot right now. Assets are super competitive, especially for kind of this $2 to $20 million asset in some of these emerging markets. 35%, which was surprising to me, said that timely third-party reports or access to timely underwriting actually was a challenge for them in 2021 as well. And then this one was the biggest thing, and I think we'll probably spend the rest of our 8 minutes and 27 seconds talking about the sell-side timeliness and communication and transparency throughout the process. So kind of setting the stage for this, so what does this look like? So Biproxi is a 2-sided marketplace. We're a managed marketplace. I know a lot of you guys are familiar with your LoopNets, your Prexis, those are kind of more established marketplaces that have been around for a while. And they're filling a need that quite frankly, needs to be met. Lots of eyeballs, lots of listings, kind of your basic aggregation. But as we were kind of talking through this with our investors, and really kind of digging through key challenges for them, one of the things that we kept hearing over and over, one of our investors on our broker council out of Chicago is like, yeah, I'm a really prominent investor in the Chicago space, but I'm trying to break into, actually it was ironically Florida, and he's like, I cannot even get a broker to call me back. Even though he's a very established investor in the Chicago area, I think a lot of people can agree that if you're trying to break into, either a different asset class or a different market, and you don't necessarily have those connections, it can be really difficult. This one, ironically, was a part of the same conversation, but a different broker, and they're getting 450 leads on one listing. And he was kind of an interesting guy. He was like, there's no bleeping way I'm ever calling every single one of them back. And so I think what happens there is there's really qualified investors and even international investors that kind of get lost in that fray. Lots of tire kickers, people who aren't really serious in investing in assets. And then this broker from LA, he was like, I don't need leads. These marketplaces today are geared towards maximum leads, all of these types of things. I need actual buyers.
And I think we heard that on the previous, maybe 2 panels ago from the residential panel. They're having the same issue with their lead quality.
Yeah, so there's kind of this macro trend going on, and commercial real estate, as we've heard today, is kind of behind the data trend. Data on the internet 1.0 is all about aggregation. How do we get the most data in one place? And really the name of the game there was really just more data. We need more listings, more data, more views, more leads. And that was the name of the game. I can turn around to my seller if I'm a broker and be like, I got, 10,000 views on your property last month. Are they the right views? We don't know, but kind of this like 1.0 phase was aggregation, and I think that we've done that really well. Phase 2 is moving more into curation. How do we distill all of this data into usable insights? We've heard a lot about that today as well. It's not just about the data, it's the insights that we can glean from that data. It's about getting real buyers, not just leads, the right views, and then also the right assets. And I think what we've seen in other marketplaces is really that there's been this evolution, right? So, there's a fully, on one end of it, there's kind of your Craigslist models, which I think is, kind of the initial LoopNet kind of CRE model as well. And these are really kind of your unmanaged marketplaces. These are just, places for people to list assets, acquire leads, all of those types of things. eBay kind of works that way, Etsy. And what we've seen kind of with this trend is that other marketplaces have kind of gone full stack the other way, right? So Uber, everyone's familiar with Uber. There's kind of this lightly managed marketplace. You can rate your drivers, you can rate your riders based on different behaviors and those types of things. Or all the way fully managed on the other end, which is kind of that open door model, which is really kind of a highly curated sort of transaction process end to end. So
one of the things we're trying to improve, right, is the quality of the people involved, the quality of the assets traded, and the code of conduct. And when I use the word quality, I'm talking about the quality of the data that's provided to everyone, both from the supply side and the lead side.
Yeah, so what managed marketplaces can do for CRE, this is kind of the next phase, if you will, in kind of the CRE marketplace. And I think it's all about bringing those real world relationships online. So Gordon touched on the quality of people involved. So how do we kind of start verifying that community? How do we get people like you onto our platforms and you are able to, leverage your expertise, leverage your experience and kind of create this trust right out of the gate. And I think that starts with, at least for us, making sure that brokers and investors are equally qualified to be participating on our platform. That's important when we get to the third slide here as well. The quality of assets traded. I don't know how many times I know that I've gone to other managed marketplaces and either the listing information is inaccurate, dated, keeping listings up to date is a huge thing for online marketplaces. And then also just the completeness of information. Is there diligence? Is there sufficient diligence even provided on those online listings for you to even want to explore it further? A lot of online marketplaces jump straight to the marriage instead of dating, right? Like they're like, oh, I've seen 2 documents and maybe 1 rent roll that I signed a confy for, and now I want to get married. Like, so there's a lot of steps in there that kind of take place that the quality of assets traded can really, really be improved on. And then that's the third thing that is kind of culminating in all of this is just standards of conducting business. As we talk through kind of the standards for conducting business in an online marketplace right now, you do get a lot of the tire kickers. You do get a lot of people that aren't qualified or don't have access to capital, and it's really difficult for those brokers to distill who is worth calling back, quite frankly, and who to engage with. And so there's this professionalism and timeliness of communication and even inclusivity, which I won't touch on in my last 1 minute and 45 seconds, that really can be facilitated through an online marketplace.
So, one of the things we're trying to do is massively shorten the time it takes to close a commercial real estate deal. I mean, obviously the residential space has kind of figured that out. Our goal is to really take the normal transaction cycle, which can be as long as 180 days, and try and shorten that by 40 or 50%. And all the things we've talked about hopefully will help us do that.
And time.
With a minute left.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you,